Hey guys, how are you doing? In this episode, we are going to see why you should update your iPhone to the latest iOS 16.3 that Apple just released. Apple also released iOS 15.7.3 and iOS 12.5.7 to compatible iPhone models. From iPhone 5s up to iPhone 7 and 7 Plus models, which are not compatible with the iOS 16 version, you have also received these software updates, which is mostly about security bug fixes that are considered to be high critical security risks. So consider updating it right away if you're running iOS 12 and iOS 15 versions on your iPhone. Before diving into the reasons, I also like to highlight the important features and changes that this iOS 16.3 update brings to our iPhone and iPad. To celebrate Black History Month, Apple have added Unity Wallpaper just like last year. There is a small correction with the overall design, but the color pattern is very much similar. So the new Unity Wallpaper is right now available in your settings wallpaper section. You can customize and start using it. The second important feature is advanced data protection feature, which in 16.2 they rolled out it specifically to US region, and right now it is available globally for all iPhone and iPad models. The next important feature addition is security keys support now comes to your Apple ID. If you are familiar with YubiKey or any FIDO standard compliant third-party security keys, now you can use them to protect your Apple ID along with two-factor authentication. This will enable some strong security if you have some sensitive data, or if you're conscious about the security of your Apple ID account, then you may try and use such third-party security keys to protect your Apple ID even better. This update also brings HomePod second generation support, which is yet to be released. To avoid any false triggers of the emergency SOS, now you can configure to use either the volume up button or down button together, which needs to be pressed along with the side button and then to be released in order to trigger the emergency SOS. And another important bug fix that Apple have done for the new iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max model users, when the device wakes up or when they try to reboot, some users were experiencing green lines on the display. So that bug is right now fixed with the 16.3 update. So if you are using the new 14 Pro and 14 Pro models, don't forget to update it. There is no information about iPhone 13 Pro and 13 Pro model green screen problem, whether it is a software issue or whether it is fixed or not with the 16.3 update. People who are already running iOS 16.2 and earlier versions who have not faced the green screen problem can proceed updating to the 16.3, because based on some users' comments, they have approached the Apple Service Center, as I have suggested in one of our video. I'll leave a link to that in the description. Like if you're using iPhone 13 Pro and Pro Max and you're worried about the green screen problem, then you have to visit the Apple Service Center if you encounter any such problem while running the 16.3 or earlier versions. And the battery is another important concern, which many people raise whenever the iOS software update comes out. I will definitely bring each iPhone model specific review after, the follow-up video after 4 or 5 days, because it won't be reasonable to bring the battery performance video within few hours after the iOS 16 official release have happened. Based on user device battery health and the apps they normally use, the battery performance will always be different. So I will give a brief overview about how the battery performance is after 4 or 5 days usage. Also, whenever an iOS software update comes out, it takes like 3 to 4 days to, complete the indexing and all the optimizations that Apple have made in the backend to set with an user device. And the past 12 hours plus, my usage is very minimal. And as you can see from the battery health, after updating to 16.3, my battery health remains as 100%. And when you take the battery graph, the overnight battery drain is very normal. It looks absolutely stable. Around 1:50 a.m. I have completed the device, updating the device, and then I charged it up to 91%. I kept the phone at my desk around 90%, and morning 6:30, you can see it consumed 2%, reduced to 88%. So the overnight battery drain seems to be very good with the 16.3 update. I have used 16.3 RC to RC first version, the beta, beta last week released in my iPhone 12, and I'm really happy with the overall stability that it provided in iPhone 12. So I was very eagerly waiting for iPhone 14. When it comes to the previous iOS 16.2 version, many users have experienced so many problems. For me, the connectivity related issues bothered a bit, and the overall stability is okay, but I definitely felt that there needs to be plenty of bug fixes have to be done. And 16.3 in the past 12 hours plus provides me a stable user experience. That's what I really like about. Around evening, right now I'm recording this video around 6:30 p.m. and you can see the battery graph is around 50%. Finally makes me say that the iPhone 14 Plus model have got the battery performance that it's supposed to be. If you're new to iPhone, I have suggested a couple of useful tips that you can do to maintain your iPhone battery health better. I'll leave a link to that in the description, and in the first video you may find it useful. So my usage since the morning was very gradual, and you can see that the 50% battery is still left in my iPhone. And this update not just about the minor feature changes and overall stability and improvement. The third important reason being important security fixes also arrived in this update. So if you're security conscious, you need to update to the iOS 16.3 if you're running the iOS 16.2 or earlier version. If you're running or staying within the iOS 15 version, even though the iOS 16 is compatible, only if you like to experience the features, you may update to the iOS 16.3. Otherwise, make sure to update to iOS 15.7.3 version just to receive the security content of this specific update. It's good, Apple gave us a choice there to stay with iOS 15 if we don't want to update. And some people have that fear that the future iOS update release could degrade the battery or could degrade the overall performance of the phone. So in such case, you have an option. That is really good. And that is all. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions related to iPhone, don't forget to search our channel once. You may find the solution very faster, and do share your thoughts about iOS 16.3 in the comment section. Thank you and have a wonderful day.